Wake up, tax. Sit down, tax. Stand up, tax. Dog walk, tax. This week on Taxes Gone Wild, the blue state bait and switch.
New York, California, Virginia. Once upon a time, as in just a few months ago, Democrats in all these places sold voters on their affordability pitch. Flash forward to just about 6 weeks, and the tax time is the new affordability.
In New York City, tax the rich now equals increased property taxes for all. Or at least that appears to be the plan from America's socialist mayor if he doesn't get his beloved wealth tax.
Excuse me, waiter. That's not what New York ordered. And today, the governor is sending that dish right back to the kitchen.
I don't support a property tax increase on New Yorkers, and I'm not wavering from my position that I don't want to drive more people out of our state by increasing taxes from what is already a high tax state. I'm the one who's trying to cut taxes.
The trouble in paradise extends to the West Coast. Today, the tax the rich godfather is in California. Bernie Sanders rallying voters around the proposed billionaire tax. A tax so gutsy, even Governor Gavin Newsom isn't game. We dig deep into that drama later this hour.
But we have to give the trickery trophy to Virginia. It's a taxapalooza down there with the new Democrat supermajority.
More than 50 proposals are currently circulating through the legislature that would add taxes to dog walking, dog grooming. Gosh, do they hate dogs? Storage facilities, dry cleaning, home repair, electric leaf blowers. That's not very green. Delivery services, including Uber Eats, FedEx, UPS, and Amazon, and gym memberships. Tax the healthy.
The only thing the Commonwealth was missing was a wealth tax like its blue state buddies, but have no fear. Another bill is here. Yet another piece of Democrat proposed legislation is now being considered in the state that would impose a 10% tax on millionaires.
Joining us now, Fox News political analyst and host of the Guy Benson Show on Fox News Radio, Guy Benson. Guy, we're going to waive the normal bottom line tax tonight for your appearance, but it does appear that Democrats are quite enamored with higher taxes when they were selling affordability all this time. What do you make of that?
Well, the bottom line tax is always waived if you're wearing an American flag pin, which I am today. Right. Because I just watched Team USA hockey win in overtime. So That's exciting. On to the semis.
Nice.
But you're absolutely right about this, especially in Virginia. I'm a Virginia voter. The Democrats mouth these platitudes about affordability and democracy. That's how they got elected. We're moderates. Don't worry. Governor Spanberger put me in office. And as soon as they seized control of everything with their little blue wave in Virginia, it has been this dizzying array of tax increase proposals from every direction and a bunch of culture war nonsense on top of it, and this wild gerrymander that they're trying to pull off, taking the state from 6 to 5 Democrat to Republican seats in the House to 10 to 1 in the congressional delegation. That has been their priority. It is not at all what they campaigned on. In New York, you can at least say, listen, he's a communist. You knew what you were going to get. He could put on a nice grin and a nice smile and say nice words, but he was an unrepentant communist, so this was going to come. That was not the sell job in Virginia, and yet the outcomes likely are looking quite familiar. Isn't that interesting?
I'm so glad you point that out, because I was thinking the same thing. In New York City, unfortunately, I think you're going to have a population that's not offended by these ideas of hiking taxes on the wealthy, hiking taxes on literally everybody through a property tax. But down in Virginia, I think it's a bit surprising. How do you think the folks in Virginia are going to react to a dog walking tax, a dog grooming tax, and frankly, I'm surprised, a tax on electric leaf blowers? I thought they liked the green stuff.
Yeah, and a fitness tax, I mean, it's crazy. It's like if it moves or doesn't move, tax it. We'll see how much of this actually gets passed. We'll see if the governor decides to veto a few of these things to try to cling to some veneer of moderation. Meanwhile, in New York City, yes, there's a base that loves the hardcore leftism of Zohran Mamdani. There's a lot of other people, though, who believed him on affordability and who want to see their lives get better. And if he is this early presiding over these people freezing to death in the street and the garbage collection issues in the early days of his mayoralship, and now this proposed property tax increase, I think some people might say, well, hang on, what's this about? And I have to point out, guys, Governor Ron DeSantis in Florida, he was highlighting this on social media. Mamdani's budget that he just proposed for New York City is larger than the budget of the state of Florida, which has nearly triple the population of New York City. You take New York City population, multiply it by 3, that's the state of Florida, and their statewide budget is lower than Mamdani's proposed budget just for the city of New York, with, of course, a massive hole in the middle of it with red ink. Good luck, guys.
It's wild stuff. Okay, so it brings me to this question then, Guy. President Trump's going down to Georgia. All right, he's going down tomorrow. They've got a big congressional race going on down there, Marjorie Taylor Greene's seat, which was vacated. Okay, so we've been talking about, is the midterm issue affordability? That's what it kind of looked like, I don't know, a few weeks ago maybe. It was going to be affordability. Now you got all this stuff with the taxes. Do you think the playing field is shifting here a little bit? Do you think maybe Republicans are going to be able to go after this issue in a different way now because of how Democrats have been responding and proposing taxes lately?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hope so. I mean, I hope that Republicans nationally can point to places like Virginia and say they talk a nice game, they're very placid, they say they're moderate, and then they get control and look what they're doing. We're not going to do this nationally. I think it very much remains to be seen. It's an uphill climb for the Republicans historically in the midterm elections. Morning Consult poll I saw today has the Republicans leading on, I think, 8 of 12 issues, head-to-head, including the economy and immigration and national security. But the Democratic base has shown itself to be much more fired up than the Republican base to actually come out, turn out, and vote. So job number 1 for the Republicans ahead of November is to get their people riled up and ready to go to participate. And then some of those independents who've been drifting back toward the Democrats recently, you've got to bring them back, both by saying the Democrats are not what they're actually selling, and also by people feeling success in their own lives. Some of the data, you guys know this better than I do, is really good on the economy right now and projected to get better. Does that hit home for voters in their own pocketbooks, around their own kitchen tables, as the cliche goes? If that can actually resonate by, August, September, Republicans have more of a fighting chance. If not, blue wave.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Guy. There's a lot to look forward to, and it'll be really interesting to see President Trump down in Georgia. He's going to visit a small business, I understand, and we all know no one visits and does a stop by at a small business better than President Trump. So it should be a good visit, a lot to look forward to. Thanks for looking ahead with us.